Hello, welcome to MCFC93320Group TV podcast. So, boys and girls, our first home match of the season. Nice and fresh. How did it all go? Anne-Marie, I believe it took you a long time to get to the match yesterday, and I don't believe what Alex said, that it's just because of your driving or anything like that. There must be a different reason.
Well, Andy, you're right. It took me over 2 hours to get from my house to the Etihad yesterday, and the biggest hold-up was literally outside the ground trying to get
Where's your house?
Timpley.
Don't tell him whereabouts in case there's a stalker alert.
But I went into the car, was trying to get into the car park, and that was where the biggest queue was. It took the best part of an hour to get from outside the front of the ground into the car park.
What was the particular reasons? There's always reasons.
No idea. I think it was just the volume of traffic, and it was just, seeing as he told everyone to get there for 2 o'clock, before 2, they even sent texts out on Saturday morning, but it just seemed to take forever. And in the end, there was, I don't know how many of us got in the car park for nothing, because they were just letting us in the end, because it was taking so long.
Don't say for nothing, they might charge you double next week.
Isn't that a bit unfair on the people that paid, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, exactly. But it was just such, I was trying to get into the blue car park, which obviously is even more difficult because they've got the testing centre and the vaccination centre there as well.
Yeah.
So I can only presume it was a combination of all of that caused the hold up. But when you're trying to get to the game extra early because you're concerned because of all the various possible checks that they might do when you're going in, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Did they do any checks on you when you went in?
No.
I knew they wasn't going to do any checks whatsoever.
No, when I got in really late, because some of us work on a Saturday morning, Anne-Marie, just saying. So I parked my car up. I always park in Droylsden and walk up. So I must have got in the ground about 2:45, 3, breeze straight through. They didn't even wand me down, as it were. Straight through, no messing about. So it seems a little bit inconsistent as well, by the staff of City. Like John said, there'll be people there who'll be a little bit annoyed knowing that others got in for free. But I can't blame City for that, because if they could see it was a problem, why would they want to delay people even further by just, But
I'm not sure whether it's a City issue or whether it's a policing issue, because who's due to deal with the traffic management? What was happening was there was cars coming across Ashton New Road, and they were just blocking the whole road, stopping cars turning left and right onto other roads, and it was just a joke.
I'd say that's a police issue. I'd say anything stewards, anything inside the ground, be it car park, that would be a City issue. So maybe that's, if it's that bad, it's a discussion City need to have with Greater Manchester Police.
I think a lot of it was down to it being pay on the gate for the car parks, because people were trying to get there early to actually get a space to make sure they didn't miss out on one. If you actually pre-booked it, then you'd actually got a space and you wouldn't have to get there that early.
But however, John, if Anne-Marie was having the issues before she even got to the gate because of cars on Ashton New Road or something like that, that defeat that object a little bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but a lot of it was due to the car park trying to get in there.
So, Alex, what issues did you have yesterday getting to the Etihad?
I use a helicopter, so I don't have any issues. Just fly from Stockport, land there, and it's all good.
So, yeah, I'd put that down to a little bit of teething problems as well, through, no blame. It's just one of them things, because first home game of the season, we've not had that many crowds there for a while. So I'm sure the feedback what people will give City, I'm sure they will relate to Great Manchester Police, etc. So we got in the ground. Anybody have anything to eat with the drink, like a cup?
No, there were none on for sale whatsoever. I asked them for one, and they said they had none.
They had none.
No, they didn't have any.
Sold out or just didn't source it?
Well, I asked them, and they didn't even know what I was talking about.
So you couldn't eat a cup. So you had an absolutely beautiful Bowen's pie.
Oh yeah, I bought 3 of them, and there was half price.
I saw the pictures as well, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you made the big screen again.
Oh yeah, again.
Or did I put the bog screen when I was replying to you? I apologise. I did have a few little drinkies last night when I was replying to people. Yeah, but it was good to be back yesterday. I must admit, even walking up to the ground, I had goosebumps everywhere yesterday. Even before I even got in the ground, because it's been nearly 2 years since the last home game where the crowds were there.
Full capacity, yeah.
Yeah, I had goosebumps, and it was so good to see people. I've not seen in a while.
It's like I said though, I went to the Everton game, but it still didn't feel like normal because I was in a different seat. I didn't see the usual people around me that you see. So yesterday, when we got back in my usual seat, the people that I see every year are all there, and it just felt like home again.
Yeah, I've got to agree, mate. It was a little bit emotional if I take my man hat off. It was a little bit emotional, like seeing these people, and I thought even the South Stand was really, really noisy. Throughout the game, which also helped. And it just felt like a proper match again, rather than listening to just commentators waffling on stuff. Even thinking about it now, I'm just reflecting back on yesterday, and it was just awesome.
It was, and the score made it even better.
Yeah. So getting on to the match, 5-0. I don't think we got out of first gear, Anne-Marie.
No, I don't. It could have been a lot more. I think I still don't understand why Torres's goal was disallowed. I still don't see the foul there at all. But we could have had a lot more yesterday as well. I thought, Alex, you're not going to like hearing this, but man of the match was Jesus, without any shadow of doubt. Him and Walker had such a good combination down that right-hand side. I thought we saw glimpses of Grealish. I'm glad he scored the goal.
Yeah.
Even though we knew nothing about it, really.
What a world-class goal that was. I must admit, and I'm pretty sure he listens to our podcast, Mike. It comes from that neck of the woods. He cannot stand Aston Villa. And all the way through the match yesterday, I just was ribbing him about Grealish all the time. He says the only way he'll really, obviously he'll take to him because he's a City player, but what'll make him a real hero is if he kisses the City badge or he scores against Villa and does a knee slide.
Well, that's not going to happen, is it?
You don't know.
I was expecting like a goal against United or something.
No, he cannot stand Aston Villa because he lives in that neck of the woods, and he's not very fond of the villains. So yeah,
who is?
And that was just, again, going back to the match. That was pure, the not just banter against the home fans and the away fans. It's banter with people we've not seen for ages. It was just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, going back to the match, Gab was absolutely brilliant on the wing, and to be fair, you would expect Jesus to be good at crosses.
Yeah, he nailed it.
John, I hope that wasn't a religious joke. I was being serious then as well. No, but seriously, it was I just thought, have Alex, you've been his biggest critic. Do you think? Obviously, one game doesn't make it, but do you think that's potentially his position?
Yeah, I hope so. He was immense. He looked different. He was the man of the match. Definitely. Even before halftime, to be honest, he was the best on the pitch. And I am his critic, but I'm not his hater. So I can admit.
Absolutely spot on. Because I was talking to Anne-Marie yesterday, and she said, not the hatred for Mahrez, but what she says about Mahrez on the podcast is not true. It's just to get attention. She does actually love Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah.
And
he loves her too. Remember the video?
And when he scored yesterday, he went straight up and blew his kisses to her. I just thought it was a really sweet moment from Riyad.
Yeah. What a good goal that was, though.
Why are you laughing, Anne-Marie? Have you exposed you what our little chat yesterday?
You
I'm
really
sure
were drinking yesterday.
The same happens with you and Mendy.
Me?
And Mendy.
I can't call Mendy if he doesn't play, so that's win-win for me. I stand by it. I don't care whether it's controversial or not. Mendy, he's a good footballer, but for City, he's absolutely terrible. Doesn't care. Cancelo, at least he gives you a little bit of something.
Cancelo played well yesterday, actually.
Yeah, especially defending, even though he didn't have much to do, but still.
And at one point, he lost the ball, gave the ball away, but he shot after it and got it straight back because Pep was actually about to blast him.
Yes, he was. And there was a moment straight after, I forget which goal it was now. I think it was just after Sterling came on and scored. There was a break in play. Sterling went over for a drink and Pep was going off his head. I think was that 4-0? Pep was actually going off his head at Sterling over something. You'll know, John, because it's right near the big screen and he's sitting there, Pep, anyway.
Yeah, he was. But that's Pep all over. He's never satisfied. I like that in him, that he's never got enough. And I can't stand these managers that just sit on the chair and don't do anything all game and just watch the game, basically. All they are is a spectator then.
Would you say he's a genius?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a genius.
He
improves every player that plays for him.
Is it all bald men what a genius is?
No. No, Samson wasn't. Samson's a genius and he had plenty of hair.
Yeah. No, it's seriously, I thought Laporte was brilliant yesterday as well. His celebration wasn't brilliant, but I just thought
that's his celebration, though, isn't it? Have you tried it yet?
What was that?
I tried it when I'm in the pub and say, Andy, it's your round. I'm like,
did you smack her head?
Yeah, I'm just it's like I'm trying to do a Rubik's cube. I'm like, I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Pep's certainly got a few dilemmas there because Stones will definitely come back in. Could we see a back? Could we see a back four of Laporte left back? Walker, who was fantastic yesterday.
I think we should have a back three. So I honestly think we should have a back three with two wing backs.
Who does he leave out then?
Who does he leave out? Well, he rotates, doesn't he? But he keeps the back three.
What like a celebration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we get rid of Mendy, just put Laporte at left back.
I think that's what he should do. But I think it could be. But he can. You're right. You're absolutely right, Alex. He can play at left back. So why?
But what about Zinchenko then?
In midfield.
Midfield in his rightful position.
Yeah.
I think he plays better as left back though.
Not as a defender though.
I like Zinchenko. I'm also just writing somebody's name down here who I thought had a good game when he come on, and that is young Palmer.
Yeah,
he did. He had a very good game when he came on.
Yeah, he looked very, very composed. He didn't look out of place. The bench was brilliant yesterday as well. Seeing some of the so-called kids like Tommy Doyle and stuff like that. Pep's going to really bring these players on because he seems determined to keep certain players involved in the squad like he did with Foden. especially when there was an outcry, yeah, Foden needs to go on loan. I think Pep must sit back now and have a little bit of a giggle, you know, when those suggestions were made. And I don't think Delap will go. You know, it's great to see he signed a new 3-year deal as well with
The
us.
Stoke deal fell through, hasn't it?
Yep. Now,
Oh.
so I'm a good friend of mine who's a Stoke fan. He seems to think it didn't fall through from the Stoke end, it was the City end. So for me, that tells me that young Delap doesn't want to go. Has he been told by Pep, you know, if you stay and you get in the team, you know, you'll stay in the team? Does that mean Mr. Harry Kane won't be joining us? It's getting boring that now that the Kane.
Yeah. He played today, didn't he, for Tottenham?
Yeah, apparently.
He was on the bench though, wasn't he? He started on the bench.
Yeah, he came on later on.
So do you reckon it'll still happen?
I think it'll go down to the wire, and I think we'll just throw a bid at him and say, look, you either take it or you don't. And if we don't get him.
But that's leaving it late for Spurs, isn't it? You know, surely unless they've got, that's a nice Iron Brew, that's
yeah.
Sponsored by Iron Brew. Yeah, I can't see Spurs letting him go if it's going to be late on in the transfer window, because they won't have enough time to go out and get anyone.
They'll need to actually get somebody in, won't they, to cover it?
Unless they know it's happening and they're trying to get somebody in, because it has gone a little bit quiet on the Kane front, like it did with the Grealish. Grealish went quiet, and all of a sudden he's holding his number 10 shirt up.
Well, 2 months ago, Grealish was coming to City, and that was confirmed by a friend of mine who works at City, because he bought a box 2 months ago.
What, of chocolates?
No. A box. He wanted a 12-seater, but ended up with a 16.
Minibus?
Box.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, you are. Yeah, I still think the Kane deal will happen, Anne-Marie, because I can't, even though he came off the bench today, I thought yesterday, although it sounds stupid that we won 5-0 and it could have been a lot more, I thought we was in need of a real goal scorer yesterday.
Yeah, there was times when they were playing the ball across the box and you just needed someone to make the run at the near post. And that would have been, in the past, it would have been Aguero. And so, you know, maybe Kane would do the same and we'd end up with, it would have been 10 yesterday.
I agree. It's not just, you know, and you are right, there was a lot of balls that went in that box yesterday where, Sterling's typified that anyway. There was a lot of them, but there'll be games throughout the season when that's not quite happening, where we just dink a ball in and you know a Harry Kane is going to get on the end of it. I've not come across many City fans who actually want Harry Kane to join us, and I find it a little bit head-scratching that, because he's proven. He's I
think the same thing happened with Grealish. I didn't see a lot of cheering when the rumors broke out, and now I'm sure most of us will cheer on him. I mean, I wasn't for Grealish, and now I'm really glad.
Unless everyone's going on about Grealish, he's 100 million. It's not him who sets the fee. It's the clubs what set the fee. So people can't hold that against him. I think he'll be brilliant for us, Grealish.
Yeah.
His touch yesterday, every time the ball could, he just seemed to have so much space. He doesn't seem to be diving about a lot, John, like he did for Villa. He seems to be on his feet more.
Well, he's going to have to learn that if he does it with City, he won't get them. Simple as. You know what the referees are like with City. Which was
evident yesterday. There was a few dodgy VAR decisions yesterday. I thought.
Today that really did my head in. We got so many fouls against us. And then Gundogan did one and got a yellow card.
Who?
Gundogan.
Gundogan.
Gundogan, yeah. Gundogan.
Not Gundogan.
No, not Gundogan.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Gundogan.
Yeah, he got a yellow card straight away.
Yeah, but it was for nothing in compared to some of the tackles that were going in on our lads.
Yeah. And it really does, it's like many times it's happened to us that their other teams done loads and loads of fouls, and we end up getting the first yellow card. It happens a lot.
It does. I don't think that's City, though, to be fair. You'll probably find a team what's getting a lot of fouls against them. They don't get a yellow card, but as soon as one of their players, does something for the first time, boom, a yellow card. I don't think that's City specific, and that's even with my blue tinted spectacles.
But it shouldn't happen.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It shouldn't happen, but it does. So the game yesterday, I thought Walker was incredible. Grealish was very good. Diaz, we're not talking about Diaz. There was one point in the second half where it just was taking the mickey out of somebody in the corner. The way he went left, right, and just got rid of the ball. He's almost like, he's not like an out and out centre back, is he? He's more versatile for that, and that was evident with was it Mahrez's goal?
Yeah, it was a great ball for Mahrez's goal.
When I don't know, any of you's noticed when Sterling scored, what a ball that was! The ball to Jesus,
the Walker one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did anybody see Gab's celebration when Sterling whacked it in?
No.
I'll be honest, I didn't.
No. Well, it happened, and he didn't run up celebrating. He was just like, he just stood on the spot going like that, and he was just like, I've not seen him celebrate like that, even when he scored.
And you tweeted that was your moment.
It was
your favorite moment. Yeah.
It was. It was just like the celebration said it typified his performance yesterday. And we do laugh and joke and snarl sometimes at players, but I'd say one thing with most City fans, if they don't take to a certain player, they won't just keep not liking them. Like for instance, me and Mendy. If Mendy come back into the team and he started playing well, I've been first to hold my hands up. I was like that with Mahrez last season. But something, I thought Mahrez had a decent season last season. He seems at home. I think some of the play when he came on late yesterday, I thought, was really, really good. Has anybody noticed City's new free kick position? It's
position? Isn't it where the actual foul is normally?
Position. So if it's close enough for a shot, they seem to move the opposition out a little bit. We put two or three of our players in the middle. So that is exactly the line of fire. I hope Arteta's not watching this, because I might have just given a few secrets away. Yeah, and
I think Arteta needs some lessons in defence.
Yeah, 2-0 again, Chelsea today. Do you think Chelsea will give us a big run for our money, or do you reckon it'll settle down and we'll not run away with it?
I think Chelsea are one-off games. I think they'll go far in the Champions League again. But the run of the actual Premier League, the slog of it all the way through, I don't think they'll cope with that. No. Because they'll come across teams that won't let them play on the counter, and they'll have to try and break them down, and that won't happen.
And Marie, the way I see it, and I spoke to Mike, who sits next to me at the match yesterday, I said to him, with Chelsea, what I think will happen is, they consider them and Liverpool are considered our biggest threats. I think what will happen, as long as City, get decent results against our rivals, as it were, I can see the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea and that ilk taking points off each other. So it's important that we are, if we're consistent, I can see the other also runs taking quite a few points off each other, because it is going to be this. It is going to be open, the Premier League this season, a lot more than say last season, because we've got fans now at the home matches. That's why there was so many away victories last season, was it not? Yeah,
I think you're right, Andy, and I think that we're gonna, but I think it is going to be a tougher season. I think, in general, most of the teams around us have improved, with some of the buys. But I think if we keep plugging away at it, you know that we're always going to hit that form. We've got it in us. So I think if we keep doing what we're doing, and like you say, get the points off the teams around us, I don't see us having anything to worry about.
No, again, I totally agree. So next up is Arsenal, 12:30. I hate the Hurley. I hate the really early kickoffs, mate, because I don't think we tend to do well with them, do we, John?
No, not normally. Early kickoffs are a bugbear, basically. We just don't seem to do well. I don't know why, but I just don't think the players like getting up early.
Just let's hope it's the early kickoff's not a pain in the arse next week for us. Because
I think Anne-Marie will have to set off about 6 in the morning, won't you?
She's setting off tonight.
No, we're changing our mode of transport for next week.
Helicopter?
We're going to go on the tram next week.
Good old tram, eh? What'll get
Anne-Marie, question for you. How was your dad? Did he go?
Yes.
Yeah, he went, and that was the reason we drove, really, because, getting him there early and that. He was good. He was glad to be back. He was really pleased because all the lads that sit around him were back as well. So, he was pleased to see old faces.
Yeah, good.
And he enjoyed the game.
Good.
And that was a great point by John, because there will be so many people, like I said earlier, I was really, really like goosebumps and everything going in. But on the other side, there'll be a lot of people who would have been apprehensive, with going as well. Yesterday, there was people will say surprise. There was quite a few empty seats yesterday. However,
I don't think there were that many.
Oh yeah.
No.
How would you know you was watching it on the big screen?
I wasn't sat on the big screen, was I?
I don't judge. Yeah, there was a few empty seats yesterday, but let's not forget there's going to be empty seats everywhere because people won't want to go anymore. Not just to City matches, but any matches. Because of the fear of the pandemic and stuff like that. So I'm not bothered who goes as long as I go. I couldn't give a monkeys. If I'm the only one sat there. And there's always, yet again, one game in, people are having a go at the empty seats. I've seen people having a go at City for, giving, was they giving away 5,000 tickets?
No, we didn't.
No, but
that was a fake thing.
Was it a fake?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Sky Sports one saying about 1,000 seats took away. Yeah, we've took some away, but that Sky Sports tweet was actually a fake one as well.
Right.
Sick.
Thank you.
I just don't
People
get
actually
these
sit
people.
there and make these up just to get likes and retweets.
Yeah.
I've heard it's the capacity of the Etihad is not what they say. I've heard it's 300 million, and I'll tweet it after. But
One
don't
of
get
the
people
interesting
who-
things for me yesterday was, obviously, it was the first game I've been to where they've taken the knee,
yes,
and obviously there was great applause for it, in fairness, from the City fans. What I found interesting was there was a bloke sat on, it was about 3 rows in front of me, a Chinese fella with his mask on, and he was booing and giving it the thumbs down when they were taking the knee, and I just found it fascinating.
but that's the beauty of opinions. I don't think we should do it. Without getting too political, because I don't want political, I think since taking the knee, there's been more racism, especially on social media to black players and stuff like that. It's coming out more now. I think it's been born out of BLM, not bacon, lettuce, mayo, Alex. Black Lives Matter.
That's what I thought.
So I do. That's my opinion. I've got Alexa telling me in the background there she doesn't understand that.
Most people don't, mate.
No, so we're not supposed to make political statements or anything like that in the Premier League, but in world football now we're having taken the knee. Normally I don't speak about religion or politics or anything like that, but I think the taking the knee needs to stop, because you can see in some players they don't want to do it, but they feel if they don't do it, they're going to get pelters from fans and media alike.
Which one is it? The player that doesn't actually do it? Which player is it?
Is it Zaha for?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's so hard, does it?
Yeah.
Does he?
So Zaha doesn't do it. So, and he doesn't get pelters. So why not? Just if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
One players feel awkward, and aren't the Premier League or even UEFA, FIFA, you know, because they do it at all levels, aren't they forcing people against their beliefs to do it?
I don't know. I have no idea that side of it. I wouldn't like to say.
Alex, what's your thoughts on that?
Just strange that it's still that they are still doing it. I don't mind it. It's just strange because it's been a lot of time since the BLM stuff was, let's say, popular or the main attention. But I agree. If someone doesn't do it, then there will be plenty of reaction, especially if it's like one guy and the rest of the squad is doing it. Especially in those cases, but I thought that was people who don't want to take it. I thought that was only the case with the Euros, because I know some teams didn't want to do it collectively.
Yeah. Anne-Marie, what's your stance on it?
In all honesty, I don't see them taking a knee having any impact on racism. That's my honest opinion. I appreciate the fact that they do it, and I've got no problem with them doing it if that's what they want to do. But it's not going to stop people giving out abuse on Twitter, whether it's racist abuse or just personal abuse towards a player.
Nothing will, apart from Twitter, but they won't basically give out all the accounts and things like that to everybody because they make so much money out of it.
Yeah. I was talking to some, who was it now? It was an interview I actually did, and they were saying all the I forget what player it was now. They had evidence. Twitter had evidence of who was doing it, but they wouldn't hand it over to the police. So I think they're in that mentality. My stance on Twitter, anyway, and even any social media, really is, instead of the blue tick for the celebrities and stuff like that,
No, we should all have one.
Everyone
People
should
are verified.
Yeah, people, Joe blogs just like me, celebrities like you, John. We should all have that blue tick to say this is exactly who I am. If I cause trouble or anything on social media, they know exactly where I live. They know exactly who I am because I've handed documents over.
My business on Google's got a blue tick next to it, which is verified.
I agree. I think, every account should, provide some sort of personal info. And if you cause trouble, let's say death threats or racial abuse or whatever, they can just call you and tell you that, you should pay more attention.
That's one way of putting it. You should pay more attention, young man. Don't you be sending racist abuse. Pay more attention. I love that. No, but yeah, something's got to be done. So let's. De Bruyne wasn't even in the squad yesterday.
No, he's injured.
How can he be injured, not playing?
It's his ankle. It's not as such injured, but it's an injury he's carrying, and they've got to basically look after his ankle. And
why did he come on, or why was he on the bench against Spurs then?
Because he could play.
Obviously, he couldn't. If it's carrying an injury, it's not just.
He might have flared up in training, but he is carrying an injury. It's his ankle, and it happened in the Euros.
Mm-hmm.
And if he goes over, it could actually get a lot worse, and we could actually lose him for this season.
But if he doesn't, I'm not being flippant. It just doesn't make sense in being on the bench coming on against Spurs. By the way, I think it was right not to play him yesterday. No disrespect to Norwich, I think that was the right decision.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with him coming. If he's not fit and he's carrying an injury, because we was all led to believe that he was going to be out for between 3 and 4 weeks, as well as Foden. And all of a sudden, he was on the bench for the first game of the season, which I thought was bizarre. And then it makes it all more bizarre, him not even being on the bench at least yesterday. In case, who just yesterday, he may have been on the bench and we was 1-0 down or 1-0. We needed a win to bring De Bruyne on.
What surprised me yesterday is seeing Gundogan after that last game at Tottenham. I thought he was out.
What's he called?
Gundogan.
Gundogan.
Mr. Whippy.
Okay, Mr. Whippy, yeah.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I wasn't being flippant. It's just that sorry, that's my Moretti machine in the background, if anyone can hear it. Moretti, the beer of the people. Yeah, so
That was our ad.
There's no doubt about it. He'll be back for the Arsenal game,
Mm.
in my opinion.
Oh,
You don't scare me. You're trying to scare me there, saying boo. No, De Bruyne, I think he will be back for the Arsenal game. I think he will start against Arsenal, which will make it a little bit bizarre, really, for me. But
not sure.
is that the sign of the times for Pep now? Will he, eliminate players from the squad completely for certain games where he feels that there'll be walkovers?
Is there any team in the Premier League that's a walkover?
Norwich.
They played some good football yesterday, but I just don't think they're a Premier League team, mate. I think they still should be in the Championship.
I agree.
But they've earned the right to be in the Premier League.
Yeah. Well, they're not playing football like they did last season, are they?
We didn't give them a chance, really, even though we didn't get out the first gear. They'll win the fair share of matches, no doubt about it, this season, Norwich.
They beat United.
Well, I'm not so sure. They didn't even have a shot on target yesterday.
I think they had one shot on target for the whole game, which is appalling. Yeah.
I just thought we did a job on them. People can say
Pretty easily.
Yeah, it was only Norwich, but you can only deal with teams what are put in front of you, and the way we did it was very, very professional yesterday. I don't think anyone broke sweat. I think it'll be the sign of the times where Pep will actually take players out of even the squad, bring youngsters in for the likes of your Norwich and your teams of that ilk.
Yeah, it's all good and well though when it works. It's just when it doesn't.
But you don't know until you try. John, do you think we'll see more of the youth, as it were, being involved? The youth.
Yeah, I think we will. Especially Palmer. Delap, I reckon, will come through as well. Because I'm sure Pep last season said that Delap would be in his thoughts this season. And he's just, like you say, he's just signed a new 5-year contract.
3.
So something must be happening.
3.
Is it 3? Oh, it's a 5.
3.
It'll be 5 when he's finished.
I thought you'd have known that with your inside knowledge underneath that big screen. Yeah.
It's Riz he's the expert on the side of it.
Yeah. I do think, if we don't sign Kane or any striker, it'll coincide with full fitness of Delap. So I think possibly, he will get more chances. Is it too soon for him? Who knows? You don't know until you.
No, the only thing with Delap, he needs to basically wise up and not start being as aggressive, because there's always a red card in him. He's had a few playing in the the lower levels and that lot, and he just needs to basically calm down. But I think once he gets a run of games, then he will calm down.
I think that's down to the chances he's got. It must be adrenaline and stuff like, you're a young kid, you're making, you're playing for apparently the biggest club in the world.
What do you mean apparently? Of course it is.
Of course it is. No, I mean, I was being flippant at that. No,
okay.
So speaking of red, John, you wasn't happy about something yesterday, was you?
No, I wasn't.
You tell us.
Just where I'm sat, just in front of where Pep is, basically, it's a sign there. And it says, do not enter the red area. I didn't like that. We don't do red. It should be do not enter the blue area.
Okay.
Or green or brown, but definitely not red.
Paisley.
Could it be City away red? Keep away from the City away red area.
No, because our City away red was not really red, was it? It was burgundy.
So it annoyed you a little bit that I noticed that on your social media.
Yes,
Not
very
that start you on your social media. I don't follow that many people on social media, but you're one of the elite.
The blue ticked ones.
Is he looking? What dog have you got, John? What breed is it? A red setter?
No, it's an handbag dog.
So yeah, so Arsenal next, 12:30 kickoff. Predictions, Alex.
Not too worried. I think we'll beat them pretty easily. Maybe we'll concede 1 goal, but I doubt it. So probably like a 3-1 or 3-0.
I'd like to think you're right there, Alex.
Yeah,
I reckon 3-0.
Alex, did you get many predictions right last season with your score?
so.
Did you?
No.
Did you?
Because I'm honest, I don't do the reverse psychology thing.
I do.
Yeah.
I had Norwich 2-0 yesterday.
Yeah, and I had City 5-0 yesterday.
Well done.
4-0
She
here.
just didn't put a bet on. She just happened to say,
Yeah, I did put a bet on.
How much did you win, Anne-Marie?
Well, I don't bet big, but I won £32.50.
Where did the 50 come from?
Well, I bet £2.50 on 12-1.
Well done. I had 5-0. I also had 5-0 City. First goal, own goal. Didn't really.
No. I say what lottery numbers.
Yeah. So can you see us winning not that you'll bet against us, but can you see it be an easy game like Alex seems to think it will be and John seems to think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I do
Arsenal.
think so. I think that there's something going on at Arsenal. The fact that I think Aubameyang and Lacazette and I don't know how many others have supposedly tested positive, haven't they?
For what?
For corona.
Right. That might have been something else. I thought it was going to be a scoop then.
Been drinking again, have they?
Yeah. Yeah. Corona. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Not a bold prediction. A bold prediction. We play Arsenal on Saturday at 12:30. I don't think Mikel Arteta will be their manager.
No, I think he will. And I think he'll go after we beat him.
It just doesn't. There's a lot of unrest with Arsenal fans. Not that they're the most patient bunch.
No, but we have a knack of getting rid of managers, don't we?
We do, but I don't think the Arsenal fans' issue is so much with Arteta as it is with Kroenke. They've got no more than our neighbours down the road. They've got issues with their owners. And some of the things that I've listening to the radio tonight, some of the things that apparently he said would put me off supporting the club.
Bonkers,
He's basically saying it doesn't matter if they don't win anything, provided they keep making money.
Well, we've known like that with Arsenal for a long time, haven't we? That's how they've been for a long time. As long as they get the Champions League and get the money, that's all they're bothered about.
Well, they're not getting that these days, are they?
No.
So that'll be time for a change. Anything else? What anyone wants to bring up?
I think we've covered most of it, haven't we?
I think we have.
Pretty much.
Apart from my prediction, you're not asking me for mine.
Go on
Well,
then.
what's your prediction, Andy?
I reckon.
2-1 Arsenal.
So that's it for tonight, folks. No, I think we'll win. I think they'll give us. I think they will give us a game.
In the first 10 minutes.
I'm going to go for. Want me to write down?
Penalty to Arsenal first, and then we'll score 3.
See that?
4-0.
1-0. Nice one.
Didn't say you two, did I? No, I can see it being an easy one.
Let's hope so.
We'll do.
Let's hope we're not wrong.
And also Thursday, the Champions League group draw.
Cool. See where I'm going soon?
Yep, me too.
I hope it is for you, John. If you always go to the away European games, don't you, John?
Yeah.
Are you going with this season?
Paul. And probably Ian.
All right. Okay.
You're not going.
Me, I might just rock up there with my camper van, you know. Who knows?
Rain.
Who knows? So yeah, Alex, quite right. You know, the groups will be announced. We just need.
Do we know when the first game will be?
I reckon it'll be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah, I know that. What
I
date?
think 14th September.
14th of what?
September.
September. Is that the first game?
14th and 15th, I think.
Right. Okay.
Be interesting who we get and how we start the Champions League off and who will be in the squad. So next week, what date's the transfer window deadline day?
31st, and
Yeah.
that's
That the Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So, do you think we will sign anyone between now and our next podcast?
No.
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 Will we sell anyone, John?
Yes.
Who?
Bernardo.
That's sad news.
Hey, if you don't want to be with us, Alex,
And so be it.
so be it. So, Alex, any incomings between now and our next podcast?
Probably not. I think the club will just, leave it for the last day, and I'm not sure if it will be Kane.
So, no.
It's mostly a no.
Anne-Marie, any incomings? Any outgoings?
Between now and next Sunday, I don't think there'll be any incomings.
God, you's a boring lot.
Well, I just see Tottenham hanging on to the last minute if we are going to get Kane.
Took us 2 months to get Grealish.
Thing is, with Kane, the club want Kane. They don't want anybody else.
John, I don't know if it did for everyone else then. It sounded, you cut out a little bit. It sounded like the club want cocaine. Honestly, if you play this back, it cut out right at that second. Then the club wants Harry Kane.
Yes, the club want Harry Kane. I don't think they want anybody else. They want Harry Kane, simple as.
Yeah, and they do. I think what Pep wants, Pep gets.
Yeah.
I think Harry Kane.
Did you hear what the Wolves fans were singing today?
You'll be a mank in the morning or something.
Yeah.
See, so the Wolves fans know more than us, really. They think it'll be happening in the morning.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I do think Harry Kane will be a City player come this time next week. And you'll all be glad to know it'll be John hosting the podcast next week because I will be on my way to sunny Newquay.
So, can you not do it from sunny Newquay?
I'll probably be driving about this time. I'm going to go through the night.
Right, okay.
So yeah, you never know. I might do it. I might get Zoom attached to my stereo in the camper van, and you know, you can have a ride with us.
Yeah. That sounded a bit wrong then, didn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, right. So anything else, guys, before we call it a day?
When can we get to your bar?
No,
Anytime.
anytime.
Right.
Do you
We'll
have
get
any
Alex over.
cups?
Need to get Alex over.
Yeah, pick Alex
Yeah.
up just on the M60. Just do a diversion near the pyramid and pick Alex up. Yeah.
I'll just
Okay.
raise my hand and you'll recognize me.
Yeah, man.
What we could actually do, we could actually get all in your bar and we could actually have a screen for Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we not just get him up Interpol or something? You know, no Crime Watch.
Possibly.
No. We'll do that. We'll do that soon. I'll get back from my jollies and we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll get Alex
Happy days.
on the big screen like John.
Yep.
Okay, folks. Great catching up as always, and some of you will do it again on Sunday. So enjoy the rest of the week and look forward, and let's welcome Harry Kane in a City shirt.
For Danny
Yep.
Ings.
Cheers, folks. Have a good week.
You too, Andy.
Bye now.
Good night.
Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.